Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com, and in today's video, I'm going to read a testimonial from a recent client who won a case from a debt collector that was suing her for $15,018.78. And reason why I want to read this is, number one, when I started the credit repair shop, one of the things that kept me going, because there was, some of you don't know this, but for years I started that business and did not make much money. As a matter of fact, my other business was paying all the bills for that. And I remember this old lady coming into my office, and she was in a security guard suit. She was probably about 70 years old, and she was in a security guard suit. And I was like, she said, "I saw your ad in the newspaper, and I have a problem, and I want to see if you can help me with it." And I said, "Come on in, have a seat, tell me what's going on." And she went on to tell me about a Cadillac that was repossessed, and that they said that she owed all of this money on it. And I was like, "Well, you bought the vehicle and you couldn't afford the payments, and they came and got it." And she was like, "Well, that's what happened, but let me tell you the whole story." And she said, "My husband was dying, and he always wanted to get a Cadillac. And he went out and bought this Cadillac, even though I didn't want him to do it, but he was dying. He knew he was dying. He only had a few months to live, and he did die. And he left her with that Cadillac." So I bring up that story with that piece of it for this reason. I've even personally experienced where a person in my family, my wife, when she was going through her transplant, before she got the transplant, there is a look in someone's eyes where if they know that they don't get something, or if they know that they are going to die, it's a totally different mindset. It's hard to describe. But as a matter of fact, she ended up helping me later in the future, because my wife didn't have her transplant until 2019. And when I was talking to this lady, this was way back in 2007. So, and she didn't help, from what I went through helping her, help me in 2019. And it was because when her husband was dying, it's like people don't have a care, because you can't, just like you can't take stuff with you. Like they'd be like, "You got all these cars and all of this stuff, and you can't take it with you, all this jewelry and stuff." Well, you can't take the debt with you when you die either. So there's another side of that too that people don't normally talk about. And people get left with stuff. And so she came to my office, and I was like, "Your security guard?" She was like, "Yeah, I need to, number one, I want to stay busy. Or number two, to supplement my income, my Social Security income, I needed to be, work this security guard job." And I said, "Sit down, let me just see how I can help you." And we were just, at that time, we were mainly focusing on helping people get out of debt and credit repair. I had never thought about, what if someone comes to me and they are being sued and, in this situation. But then I thought about it, like, from what I went through in the 1990s, I had my cars repossessed. And what did I do to get out of that situation? Like, what did I do? I don't want to say get out of it. What did I do to resolve that situation? And so the first thing I did when I talked to her is I said, did they give you an auction statement? And she was like, "No, I don't believe they gave me an auction statement." And then I was like, "Well, did they give you any other documents, the contract, any of that stuff?" "No, they're just saying I owe, it was something like 17,000, or it was in that range. It was a high amount. She didn't have the money." car was taken back. Car was only only like maybe at the most 6 months old, 6 months from the dealership. And so I said, okay, we're gonna do the things that we would normally do to check to see if you, number one, have to pay this amount, even though it was left in your name from your husband dying. It's part of the estate, so you're responsible for closing out his estate. But there's certain things that they have to prove. Long story short, what I found after doing the checks and also working with the company that was collecting for the creditor, I want to give a shout out. I can't say their name without permission, but they were very understanding about her situation. Like it was like we were all on the same team to resolve this, so she would be able to move forward. And so I would like to say thank you to them. If you know, I can't say their name because of legal reasons. But what we found out after doing all of the stuff that you should normally do when your car is repossessed and getting the documentation, we found out that she didn't owe the amount of money that they claimed that she owed. She actually only ended up owing, maybe, my memory serves me, it was maybe a few $1,000s or $1,000. It was not what they had said it was, and that was because the car had actually sold at auction for more than what was recorded, that was reported over to them. So we got that resolved. But the thing about it is that that's what kept me going. When I get those types of testimonials, it was like, I'm not doing this to get paid. I'm doing this to help people. And then another thing, she's a 70-year-old woman, and she's like, Steve, how much do I owe you? You supposed to get paid. And I was like, no, I can't take your money. She was like, boy, you better listen to me. You did good work, and you're supposed to get paid. And I was like, okay, well, this is the amount that we would normally charge. And I charged her exactly. She was like, you charge me what you're supposed to get charged. You run a business, and you're helping people, and you deserve to get paid. So that was another lesson that I learned from her. It's like, she was like, you can't be out here doing this and then you don't get paid. People will be taking advantage of you. And you just helped me from paying all of these thousands of dollars. You just helped me so I could go to work and mourn the loss of my husband, and I can go to work and do what I need to do. And you was talking to these people. You was talking to them, and we were doing three-ways and stuff. She was in the office. She was like, that's worth money to me. That's worth money to me. And I was like, you're right. So this is it. And she was like, you take this money and you keep doing what you do. And then later in the years when I was going through what my wife going through her transplant, and forgive me with my voice, I've had a bad cough for a few weeks and I'm getting over it now. But when I was going through that, and she was explaining to me the look and how her, like even when she was talking with her husband about what, you know, he was dying and he was going out buying this car and doing stuff. And she was just like, she just like did this. And in 2019, the build up when they were saying, well, that one of these days you're going to get a call, there was things that we were getting that were not like not good financial decisions. So I was going through that same thing, but it was like, what are you going to do? You're going to say no? What are you going to do? You're going to say no? And when I dropped my wife off, this was right at COVID. And this is where the testimonial that I'm going to read to you, this is like how all of this stuff comes together, because this woman that I'm going to talk about with the debt collector that we helped her with the $15,000 that she won her case. This was in 2019, and what I went through with my wife was in December 2019, right before Christmas. I had to drop my wife off, and I couldn't even go into the hospital with her. I had to just drop her off. Give her a kiss right there, dropping her off. And I didn't know if I was going to see her or not. And the doctors were calling me throughout the night. I'm laying in the bed. Doctors are calling me, and they're like, okay, we started. And then like 2 hours later, things are going good. And then another 2 hours. The surgery lasted for 15 hours. The surgery lasted for 15 hours. And then after 15 hours, they called me and said, well, she's in recovery. And it's like, you know, all of these things go running through your mind. But I can tell you that what me and my wife did is we said, like, we just thought of the picture. And when I always say the picture is like, what is it going to be like afterwards? Because you can never make it through anything in your life, credit, debt, bad situations, relationships, and nothing, unless you have that picture of what you want it to get like. And then, so you had a picture of what it is now, and you start to take these little pieces that you don't want in that picture of your life anymore, and you start to add little new pieces in there. That means that you're looking at yourself. You're looking at the man or the woman in the mirror, and you're saying, I don't like this, and I'm going to take this out. And there is no time frame. There is no time. You cannot set a time frame, but I can tell you, when you do make it, you're going to be like, it was like that quick, like time flew. And the reason why is because time is always going to pass. And when you're changing your mindset and changing how you, getting rid of old habits and changing that picture, time flies. So like for me, I went through my stuff from 1994 to 1999. It took me 5 years, credit and debt. It's 2024. It was like that. But when I was going through it, it's like, but me and my wife said, we are not going to put no timeline on it. We just going to get to work doing it. And then it changed. And then with the stuff that people go through, with that lady, she was going through it. When we finished it, she was like, boy, that seemed like that we got it resolved quick. It took like 6 months to get it resolved, with the back and forth and getting all the paperwork and documents. And now I'm going to read this testimonial. And this is a great one, because I remember the emails of the back and forth of the unsureness of this woman when she was going through this. So I'm going to just read it. I'm going to read it, because this is stuff that keeps me going, and it keeps me being able to help you. And some of the times you need to hear what someone else went through so you can get the power and the strength inside of you to just keep pushing forward, because until you can get that picture and it starts to materialize, you don't know if you're doing anything for you. Like, why am I even doing it, and is it going to even work? And you're worried about the wrong thing. So she said, Dear Mr. Williams, Hassan, and team. Hassan is the leader of my customer service team. She said, oh my gosh, I can't thank Mr. Williams, Hassan, and the Credit Repair Shop's entire team for their up-to-date research, information, and knowledge. But most of all, their amazing encouragement and support. Like so many people back in 2019, I went from working 72 hours a week to 0 hours. I asked Citibank to freeze my credit cards and put me on a payment plan. Less than a year later, I got a letter from Midland Credit Management, Inc., debt collector, saying that now I owe the debt and they want to collect. And she said, wait, what? So she went from, they were supposed to put it on hold and work with her, to we sold the debt and now this debt collector is coming after you. So she said, I was so broke, confused, and overwhelmed. I had no idea where to even begin. One sleepless night, I was praying to God for help, and I went online to figure things out. Well, the very first person I stumbled upon was Mr. Stephen A. Williams from the Credit Repair Shop, explaining his story. So the next day, January 21st, 2024, I called and spoke to a real person, Hassan. After explaining my entire situation, I never forgot Hassan's answer. We, the Credit Repair Shop, can certainly help you. And what she did is she just simply made step one. Let us review your summons so we can let you know how we can help you. And then she said, this is what she said. I just broke out in tears, feeling a sense of immense relief while apologizing to Hassan for crying. Hassan said, was so kind, with a slight giggle. He said, don't worry, you're not the first, and assured me I could do this and that that they would walk me through the entire process. My first validation letter and proof of claim request to Midland Credit Management went out on June 25th, 2024. On July 12th, 2024, I received a letter from Citibank NA stating that they cannot verify anything. What? This is what she said. She said, what? August 5th, 2024, I received a notice from Gloucester, her county, stating that you are being sued and filed a case in July 31st, 2024 for $18,078 by Midland Credit Management, a debt collector. On August 15th, 2024, with the help of the credit repair shop, she filed an answer with the certified receipt. October 25th, I received a letter from the court saying that it was set for trial November 21st, 2024. Well, finally, today, November 21st, 2024, 10 a.m., in the courthouse, Midland Credit Management debt collector lawyer agreed through mediation to dismiss without prejudice. After it was both the mediator and the lawyer said to me, you came very well prepared. Again, thank you, Mr. Stephen A. Williams, Hassan, and the credit repair team. The most important, I will give all glory to God. Please don't let fear keep you blind to the lies out there. You can fight back and win. And I remember on the emails back and forth with her that she was like, I'm not sure. And I was like, you just got to keep moving forward. And people look for certainty. People look for I got to know what's going to happen. And sometimes you can't know what's going to happen. What you can do is prepare yourself. Prepare yourself and do the work and let things happen. And that's where a lot of people fall short in today's world. And I'll admit that even with stuff, I catch myself. It's like, Steve, you know this. You can't know the outcome on everything. What you can do is you can prepare yourself. Do the work to get to the outcome that you want. But you cannot control the outcome, because when you think you got to control the outcome, you will never take the appropriate action, or you will miss something. If you're just focused fully on just what the outcome needs to be, and you don't take action, you're going to miss something. Now, you do need to see. It's like a confusing thing. You got to see where you want to be. You got to get yourself moving in that positive direction, like Hassan told her. You got to be thinking it could be a positive. But then once you get yourself that picture, you pull back and you say, what is the work that needs to get done to get to that picture? Like some of the, like The Secret and some of those different things, they'll be like, you get the picture and it's supposed to just happen. No. You get the picture and then you take the action. And the action that you take, you'll be like, will this action potentially get me there? Yes. Will this action potentially get me there? No. Will this action potentially get me there? Yes. And then the results from those actions, did it get me there? No. Okay, so what's an adjustment for the action? I keep the picture, but I make adjustments on my actions. And then all of a sudden, the actions that you make either get you a huge victory, like with this one. I mean, imagine 15,000. See, some of the times it goes over people's head. It goes over people's head. So let me draw this out for you. $15,000. $15,000 is this. Taking the time to get the help costs this. And then the other thing, time. Time to do things. That's what it costs. But to lose $15,018.78, do you want to give any debt collector the money, that type of money, when you don't have to? When you can give yourself a chance of winning. And no, there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees. But there is a guarantee to get yourself in the position to win. So if you're being sued by a debt collector, or even the original creditor, go to the credit repair shop Upload your summons, put your phone number. We'll review it, let you know how we can help you. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, what makes us different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my two-phase settlement process. That's the way that we repair credit. And it can take some time depending on your specific situation. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website, your3scores.com. YOUR3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports, and all 3 scores. Has all of the information on there. You need to furnish your information to be able to get you where you want to be with your credit, because they're going to need to dispute furnishers. You're going to need to dispute with the bureaus. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters. I give them away for free, but I do ask for a donation on those. When you those donations help me monetize my time to help you on this channel. Like that 70-year-old woman told me, she said, Steve, you got to get paid. And I give those away for free, and I really appreciate you that make donations. I've gotten donations as much as $100, because those letters can actually save you time, money, and frustration, way more than what the donation that you would give. Donation is just showing me appreciation. Please subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments, and like this video. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.